Well, hello. Melon and I just got back from a little trail walk, so we're a little warm. She's directly under me, under my chair. It is disgusting outside. Florida, not my thing. I really should move. Today, I want to talk about the Taylor Swift, Joe Jonas, Camilla Belle drama. So, as a chronically online girly, especially between 2008 and 2014, I was all about the drama of who's dating who in the Disney Channel circle. I was a big Miley fan, not gonna lie. I thought I would end up marrying Nick Jonas, but I was also gracious enough to let Miley have him. So I figured, if I, God forbid, if I can't have him, Miley, you go right ahead. I shipped Joe Jonas with Demi Lovato after Camp Rock came out in 2008, but I also thought he was adorable with Taylor Swift. They were both funny, they were the same age. It seemed like all of the other people in the Disney Channel circle, they were all born in 1992, but Joe and Taylor were born in 1989. You get the reference, right? I remember watching the Ellen episode where Taylor Swift dragged Joe Jonas for breaking up with her over a 27-second phone call. I was shocked that she was saying all of it publicly, but I was also, shocked that it happened at all. But Joe was known as a heartbreaker, and of course, he was part of the biggest and best boy band in the entire world, the Jonas Brothers, So in a way, it wasn't too unbelievable. Then came the video on Taylor's YouTube channel showing Shane Gray's Camp Rock Barbie doll. She says, he comes with a phone so he can break up with other dolls. Absolutely feral. She was feral at this time. Lines, Vines, and Trying Times came out in 2009, a fantastic Jonas Brothers album, and it included a track called Much Better. Joe is the main vocalist on this song, and when I first heard it for the first time, I was like, oh, this is cute. And then he said, and all the tears on her guitar. And I was like, what? My ears perked up. I was like, what? And then I kept listening, and he said, you're much better. And I was like, hold on a second. What? Joe put out a song saying some girl was better than Taylor Swift. First of all, that is so rude. Second of all, that could never happen. That is impossible. I couldn't believe that all of this was so public and that he was kind of clapping back in a way. I feel like up to this point, the Jonas Brothers were pretty unproblematic. And even the Nick and Miley stuff, they kind of figured it out on their own. They didn't really feed into it. And then in 2010, Taylor released her third album, Speak Now, with a little track called Better Than Revenge. Now go stand in the corner and think about what you did. Not only that, but she called back to the Jonas Brothers song. You deserve some applause because you're so much better. Wow. She brought in the other woman, Camilla Belle. Her and Joe briefly dated after Taylor and Joe split up. I guess if you look at it, Joe brought her into it with Much Better, and Taylor felt like she kind of had to retaliate. Taylor is usually such a girl's girl up to this point, she never really bashed the other woman. Although as I'm saying that, I remember You Belong With Me and what you doing with a girl like that. So maybe it's not too much out of character. In this song, Taylor calls Camilla out for the things that she does on the mattress. And at this time, everyone in the Disney Channel circle wore purity rings, including Joe. So if people thought too much into that, it probably could have really damaged the Jonas Brothers' careers. So that was pretty brave of her. Things seemed to calm down after that. Joe announced that he was expecting his first child with Sophie Turner, and Taylor sent him a gift. Later, Taylor referenced this in her song Invisible String, saying, cold was the steel of my axe to grind for the boys who broke my heart. Now I send their babies presents. Joe and Sophie ended up getting a divorce, and Taylor seemed to be getting pretty close to Sophie then. which raised some eyebrows. I didn't find it too out of character because they had a lot to bond over and they were both beautiful, hilarious women, so it didn't seem too crazy to me. I thought this would be a good way for them to, I mean, it kind of sucks because they're getting a divorce, but you know, they dated the same man, they're both funny, they're both in the entertainment industry, you know, they seem like a good fit for friends. Taylor released Speak Now Taylor's version, where she changed the lyrics to "He was a moth to the flame, she was holding the matches," which at least didn't slut shame Camilla, but still made it seem like she was responsible for the breakup. And we need to remember that Joe was the one who broke up with Taylor over a 27-second phone call, not Camilla. So, like, even if he did because of Camilla, it was still, he was the one in the relationship. Let's remember that. I haven't heard anything since, so hopefully everything is good. It would be awesome if one day Joe and Taylor did a little collab, like Before the Storm with Nick and Miley, but I really doubt it. I still can't believe that Nick and Miley did Before the Storm. Like, what? That was crazy. I was sobbing. That song, I swear. It's even now, I'm just like, standing out in the rain, knowing that it's really over. Please don't leave me alone. Oh, sobbing. Joe has a new album, Music for People Who Believe in Love, and Taylor is, of course, the biggest pop star in the entire world. The Jonas Brothers are going on their 20-year world tour. Everyone ended up fine in the end, but let me know what you thought. Were you around during this time, deep in the trenches like me? Did you love the drama? Who was your favorite Disney Channel couple? Because I knew of all of them. I made a lot of fan fiction back then, so most likely I wrote some sort of fan fiction on some kind of couple from Disney Channel because I just did all of them. So that's super fun, especially, of course, Niley. I had a lot of Niley stuff. I actually had a series called, like, I don't even remember what it was called. I think it was just A Niley Story. It was called A Niley Story, and it was on my YouTube channel. And then my YouTube channel got banned for copyright. But it was fantastic. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.